is available around the country, and people who understand that know we can be the clean energy superpower of the 21st century. And some people get a little carried away. Have you noticed that? But I get carried away thinking about all the jobs we're going to create. And all the families that are going to have a better chance for the future. I also get carried away. So I need your help. Stronger Together is not just a slogan for our campaign. It is what I believe in my heart. I will get up every day in the White House trying to figure out how we're going to create more jobs, more opportunity, keep us safe, unify us. And that's where you come in. I hope you will join this campaign. You can do so today by texting JOIN, J-O-I-N, at 42746, or you can go to hillaryclinton.com. We're hiring organizers in Ohio, so if you're interested in working as an organizer, see one of our people who will be at the doors as you leave. This is a consequential election. I understand a lot of the concerns that many Americans have, wondering and worrying about our country, about their lives, about their kids' lives, about their retirement, about the purpose and dignity of their work. So I know we've got challenges that we have to address. But I am absolutely sure we can do this. I believe America's best days are still ahead of us. If you will join this campaign, join our cause. Together we will not just win an election, but chart a course of confidence and optimism, getting results for the American people. Come, join me, please. Thank you all very much. During the interview and in many other occasions over the past months, that what I told the FBI, which he said was truthful, is consistent with what I have said publicly. So I may have short-circuited it, and for that I will try to clarify, because I think Chris Wallace and I were probably talking past each other, because of course he could only talk to what I had told the FBI, and I appreciated that. Now, I have acknowledged repeatedly that using 2 email accounts was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that. But I do think, having him say that my answers to the FBI were truthful, and then I should quickly add what I said was consistent with what I had said publicly, and that's really sort of, in my view, trying to tie both ends together.
Is the one inconsistency, though, that you said you never sent or received classified material, and he did say there were 3 emails that were marked classified at the time. Is that an inconsistency?
Well, here are the facts behind that as well. You know that I sent over 30,000 emails to the State Department that were work-related emails. Director Comey said that only 3 out of 30,000 had anything resembling classified markers. What does that mean? Well, usually, if any of you have ever served in the government, a classified document has a big heading on the top, which makes very clear what the classification is. And in questioning, Director Comey made the point that the 3 emails out of the 30,000 did not have the appropriate markings. So it's pretty clear Donald Trump wants to give trillions of tax breaks to people like himself, not invest in our veterans, our kids, our police officers, our teachers, and anyone who really provides services. And we face real serious challenges in America. We need serious leadership. This is not a reality TV show. It's as real as it gets. Look at what's happening in Milwaukee right now. We've got urgent work to do to rebuild trust between police and communities and get back to the fundamental principle: everyone should have respect for the law and be respected by the law. you have to ask yourself, is Trump up to the job? He's giving a speech. He's giving a speech about ISIS today. Now, I've laid out my strategy for defeating ISIS over many months. We will strike their sanctuaries from the air and support local forces taking them out on the ground. Under President Obama and Vice President Biden, we are making progress. We will surge our intelligence so we detect and prevent attacks before they happen. We will disrupt their efforts online to reach and radicalize young people in our country. It won't be easy or quick, but make no mistake, we will prevail. There is no doubt in my mind. To send Catherine Cortez Masto to the United States Senate.
You okay? Keep talking. You handle it. We're not going anywhere.
Okay, here we are.
Keep talking, man. Keep talking.
Okay, we'll keep talking, and apparently these people are here to protest Trump because Trump and his kids have killed a lot of animals. So thank you for making that point. Okay, now let me keep going because I want to say another word about Catherine. She will be the first Latina ever elected to the United States Senate. So here's what I hope I can do with Catherine and Dina, with Jackie and Ruby.
I think what people should know about the Iran deal, Hillary, she was one of the ones that was one of her touting achievements as Department of State as she brought Iran to the table for this deal.
I think this is an important step that puts the lid on Iran's nuclear programs.
A bombshell report is exposing a second nuclear program being run in secret.
I think this is an important step.
Iran test-fired 2 types of medium-range ballistic missiles Wednesday.
I think this is an important step.
10 American sailors were detained by the Iranian Navy.
I think this is an important step.
The Obama administration delivered $400 million in cash to Iran just as Iran was releasing 4 American hostages.
It's extremely dangerous, and it's a bad deal, and it shouldn't have happened. Another failure of leadership right there, not seeing a bigger picture. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam and seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
His plan I love the tax cuts. I'm a Republican. But then he has this sort of import substitution strategy, which is a strategy like an underdeveloped country. Very poor countries think that way. We have to substitute our imports. That would be a disaster, especially if you cut taxes.
So Hillary Clinton, you think, would be better for the economy?
I think so. I think that one thing the Clintons learned during President Clinton's time in office is budget deficits hinder growth. And that's what President Clinton did in the second term, is cut the deficit, and that drove the growth. She's learned from that. I'm sure she knows that.
Some disturbing news about Hillary Clinton's time at the State Department. Some new information coming out from a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit the Judicial Watch asked for. Judicial Watch is a conservative group. I don't agree with them on any policy at all. But what they are uncovering is actual emails sent by Clinton's team. It is not their opinion. It's not their policy position. These are emails, and we can see them with our own eyes. So there's a couple of email exchanges that are problematic. One in particular is on April 2009. And the subject line is a favor. So somebody's asking for a favor. Well, who is it? It's longtime Clinton associate Doug Band who's asking for the favor, and he's connected to the Clinton Foundation. And he's reaching out to Abedin and Cheryl Mills. The way I read the emails, it is not clear, and the news articles related to them, it's not clear that Doug Band was at the Clinton Foundation at the time. But he is a longtime confidant of the Clintons and was connected to the foundation in the past. So what does it say in the text of the emails? Well, they've redacted the name here, but they say that it's important to take care of, and then they redact the name. So there's somebody that they've got to take care of. So, look, some of you might look at this and go, yeah, I get it, it's politics. So there's a whole bunch of people you got to take care of. You become the Secretary of State, you go get them all jobs. I understand. At the same time, if some of those people gave money to the Clinton Foundation, and now that's why you're taking care of them and putting them in the State Department into important jobs, that's really problematic. So now this email does not prove it conclusively because we don't know who the person was that they were trying to do a favor for. At this point, it is not entirely clear Doug Band's relationship at the time with the Clinton Foundation or why they wanted to do this favor. But should they look more into it? Yes. Should they ask Hillary Clinton about it? Absolutely, because this requires decent answers. Did they look into returning the favor and actually doing this? Well, the email back from Huma Abedin, who is the top aide for Hillary Clinton, says, we have all had him on our radar. Personnel has been sending him options. So whoever it was that they wanted the favor for, it appears that they got that favor because he gets the options on what he wants to pick. Must be nice. Now, more disturbing emails. In a separate exchange a few days later, Band emails Abedin and Mills again, this time urgently requesting help putting Gilbert Chaguri in contact with State Department's, quote, substance person on Lebanon. Abedin replies a few hours later, promising to speak with the substance person about the request. Band then responds again, informing Abedin that she should contact the person now, writing, quote, this is very important. Now, this is not, hey, I gave you an ambassadorship to the Bahamas, have fun, you get to call yourself an ambassador for the rest of your life and hang out in the Bahamas, and you gave me a lot of money in my campaign, and that's the way it goes. That happens. I hate that that happens, but it happens. And it's not as egregious as, no, I need to contact the person who is handling substance on Lebanon because I'm going to give input into that substance. Okay, well, who is this guy? Who's Gilbert Chaguri? Well, that's the problematic part. It is unclear, Law News explains, it is unclear from the emails exactly why Chaguri needed to speak with anyone at the State Department, although, according to records obtained by Judicial Watch, Chaguri is reportedly a very wealthy Nigerian Lebanese businessman and friend of former President Bill Clinton. He is a mega donor who, according to Wall Street Journal, pledged between $1 million and $5 million to the Clinton Foundation. ABC News reported that he made another $1 billion pledge to the Clinton Global Initiative. Well, now we're on to some serious problems. We're going to have to find out more. These are not the end-all, be-all, and it is the beginning of a problem. It's not the end. We don't know the whole story. But if you've got a guy who's giving a ton of money to the Clinton Foundation, and then Hillary Clinton goes and becomes Secretary of State, and then people from connected to the Clinton Foundation say, this is very important, you better have this guy talk to the substance person at the State Department regarding Lebanon, and do it right now, and they get a response, that's bad news. That is not how we're supposed to be running our government. Now, if you thought that was bad, wait till you find out Chiguri's background. According to a 2010 PBS Frontline World investigation, Chiguri also has somewhat of a checkered past. He was previously convicted in a money laundering scheme that allegedly helped a former Nigerian dictator stash stolen money in various bank accounts in Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and elsewhere. However, his conviction was expunged in 2000 after he agreed to a plea deal that required him to return approximately $66 million to the Nigerian government. So let me tell you a story about how these things work generally, because I just told you all I know about this guy. Now, in general, though, there are a lot of bad actors in the world who would like to clean up their reputation. Now, they take money, sometimes from ill-gotten gains, and they'll take a small portion of that and give it to global leaders for their campaigns, their charities, for speaking engagements, and then they'll take pictures with them. And then they'll put it up in their office. And people go, well, no, this guy's got a picture with this global leader. Obviously, he must be a decent guy. And that's how the money gets cycled around. And in a worst-case scenario, he goes on to do another bad act using the trust that he built up with having all those pictures on his wall. So in this case, I don't know what he's up to. I hope that there is significant investigation into this to find out what he wanted from the substance person in Lebanon. And I hope nothing untoward happened. But already the fact that he has that kind of influence by simply giving money to the Clinton Foundation is a terrible set of events. Look, people watching this video that are partisan will look at it and go, oh, how dare you do this to Hillary Clinton in the middle of an election? What do you want Donald Trump to win and he's a monster and are you supporting him? No. My job is to cover the news. This is definitely news. I didn't do this. It appears Clinton's team did this. So if you've got more questions, great, direct them to the Clinton team. While you're at it, remember the letter that Hillary Clinton signed when she went to the State Department. She said, for the duration of my appointment as secretary, if I am confirmed, I will not participate personally and substantially in any particular matter involving specific parties in which the William J. Clinton Foundation or the Clinton Global Initiative is a party or represents a party. Now, maybe she's got some wiggle room there and say, oh, no, Bannon wasn't with the Clinton Foundation at the time. Chiguri wasn't a party to the Clinton Global Initiative yet or at that time. Okay, I'll let her answer those questions. But they are real questions, and they should be answered. Because the idea that you give money to the Clinton Foundation and then you get to influence our policy in the State Department is a very bad idea. Let's hope it didn't happen, but right now it certainly merits far more investigation. Here's what won't happen to you if you're a TYT member.
You're kicking me out the door. You're kicking me out the door.
Well, we're not going to kick you out the door. We welcome you. Be part of independent media. Be the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.
Do you know who these people are?
Yeah, this is Donald Trump, and this is, I don't know, Hillary Clinton. This is,
Can you describe them both in one word?
rich and woman.
What do you think of them?
I really don't like this guy.
I know only Donald Trump as a businessman.
I would like to see Trump next president, yes.
He would be a better president than Hillary.
Donald Trump isn't good in politics.
This woman is also not really great, but it'll be much better than him.
It's like choosing between two really bad candidates.
Who do you think would be better for Russia?
Maybe Hillary Clinton.
He said something about the friendship with Vladimir Putin.
Well, Vladimir Putin likes me or something like that, so he says.
I'm the only one on the stage that said we should not go into Iraq.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
I'm very pro-life.
I'm very pro-choice.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle? There has to be some form of punishment.
I am pro-choice in every respect.
She has no natural talent to be president.
She's very talented, and she has a husband that I also like very much.
Hillary Clinton was the worst Secretary of State in the history of the United States.
Hillary Clinton, how did she do as Secretary of State? Probably above and beyond everybody else.
Let's say Hillary is president.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. I will build the wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it, and they'll be happy to pay for it.
I'm not going to pay for that fucking wall.
This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize, okay?
Listen, you motherfuckers, we'll tax you 25%.
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. We'll beat the shit out of them.
Political bullshit.
You're not gonna raise that fucking price, you understand?
Donald, true or false, you've said the government should pay for everyone's health care?
That's false.
You've never said that.
Everybody's got to be covered.
Universal health care.
I am going to take care of everybody.
Who pays for it?
The government's going to pay for it, but we're going to save so much money on the other side. He said I was in favor of Libya. I never discussed that subject. I was in favor of Libya. We would be so much better off if Gaddafi were in charge right now. Gaddafi in Libya is killing thousands of people. We should go in. We should stop this guy, which would be very easy and very quick. Stop him from doing it and save these lives. They're here illegally. You take them, they have to go back.
We have to show some compassion.
You're right.
We just can't throw everybody out.
They have to
You're going to
come
split up
illegally.
families.
Chuck,
You're going to deport children.
Chuck, no, we're going to keep the families together. We have to keep the families together.
But you're going to keep
But
them
they have
together
to
out?
go. But they have to go.
How do you throw somebody out that's lived in this country for 20 years?
North Korea has nukes. Japan has a problem with that. I mean, they have a big problem with it. Maybe they would, in fact, be better off if they defend themselves from North Korea. Maybe we would be better off, including with nukes. Yes, including with nukes.
They said, I want Japan to nuke. I want Japan to get nuclear weapons. Give me a break.
But if you say to Japan, yes, it's fine, you get nuclear weapons, South Korea, you as well, and Saudi Arabia says we want them too.
Can I be honest with you? It's going to happen anyway. It's only a question of time.
I'm a conservative person.
The Republicans are just too crazy right. I mean, just what's going on is just nuts.
Bush says, I do not believe he's a true conservative. These people are stupid.
Do you identify more as a Democrat or a Republican?
In many cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. The economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists.
What do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party. Wages too high. We're not going to be able to compete against the world. I hate to say it, but we have to leave it the way it is. I don't know how people make it on $7.25 an hour. I would like to see an increase of some magnitude.
Do you believe voters have a right to see your tax returns before they make a final decision?
I don't think they do.
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely.
There have been many presidents that have not shown their tax returns.
Actually, every single nominee since 1976 has released their tax
but before
returns.
1976...
Nobody was worse to women or abused women more than Bill Clinton. Look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant. She's married to a man who got impeached. They tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. He was impeached for lying.
Honesty, Carter once said, I'll never lie to you. Would you say that, the American people?
I would never lie.
When I'm president, I'm a different person. I can do anything. I can be the most politically correct person that you've ever seen. I can be the most politically correct person in the world. And I can be the opposite.
The president has to be a great leader, and you have to lead by example.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
Like to punch him in the face.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
Blood coming out of her, wherever.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I don't know what I said. This guy will say anything.
As far as the truth goes, we've got people in positions of power who I know for a fact are liars. Liars. I don't believe any one of them, not one. I believe Donald.
I think the two presidential candidates that we currently have also represent the issue that we have in this country right now. I mean, you have Hillary, who's called black teens or black kids super predators. You have Donald Trump, who's openly racist. I mean, we have a presidential candidate who's deleted emails and done things illegally and is a presidential candidate. That doesn't make sense to me, because if that was any other person, you'd be in prison. So what is this country really standing for?